Greetings, you beautiful humans. It is a beautiful day for baseball in Tampa Bay. For thank God it's Friday, whatever date it is. It's one of the ways I start my Friday broadcast, just for fun. It's organized fun with a purpose. That's what baseball is. Brett Phillips, the Tampa Bay Rays, utility outfielder, making a big difference here in Tampa. He has a whole new sports line called Baseball is Fun. Baseball is fun. Life can be fun. Baseball can be a hassle. You can get hit in the head with a baseball. You can get hit in the head with a baseball bat. It can be tragic. People have died playing baseball. But baseball is fun. Life can be tragic or fun. It can be both. But if you find the fun in even the tragic, it's amazing. So that's why on purpose, with a purpose, I've got my Israeli national baseball team. We're going to be talking about the Tampa Bay Rays, our local team here that's done amazing things. Starting out really poorly. We talked about when they were the Devil Rays, and I'll talk about that in a second. But life can be fun, even tragic moments. When Dawn's mom died, my mother-in-law, Marilyn, died at 82 years old. She was just a pillar of her community in Edgerton, Wisconsin. And when she died, the entire town turned out. It's a town of about 5,000 people. And the church, the Lutheran church there in Edgerton, Wisconsin, was packed. And there were about 30 family members that we were sitting in the first few pews. And before the service started, the funeral director came in and said, "Family, the pastor would like to have a prayer with you." And so we went out to the foyer. It was a classic old Gothic church, country church. If you've ever been to one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Very tall steeples and what kind of glass do they call that, Al? Stained glass, yes, beautiful. Wood pews. It had that musty smell in the foyer. And so we were all gathered around, the 30 of us in a circle, holding hands, waiting for the pastor. The funeral director had gotten us out of our pews. And now we were just waiting for the pastor. We were just standing there before we're about to say goodbye to Marilyn Olson. Marilyn Jones Olson, quite a woman. And we're just standing there and the pastor's not there. And all of a sudden, number 2 son, Jacob, we talked about the rebel, the Packers fan. He's a marijuana grower, Ron Olson on Facebook. We're standing there quietly, reverentially. And here's what Jacob comes up with. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in. And the 30 of us led an uproarious laughter. And of course, everybody in the church was waiting, knew the family had gone out, had no idea what happened. Why are they screaming, laughing at Marilyn Olson's funeral? Because Jakey was a funny little fuck. We cracked up, and this released the tension in this really, tough time to bury your parent, your mother. And then the funeral director comes up to Jake and says, "You know how many times I wanted to do something like that?" He goes, "Good for you." So then now, the lovely funeral, Dawn gives an incredible eulogy for her mom. And then now we're burying, we're at the gravesite. And all the grandsons, including my 4 boys, and James, their cousin, they've got the casket, and it's kind of tricky. And if you ever saw the Friends episode, when Ross and Chandler are trying to get a couch up the stairs, and Ross is going, I guess Ross is going, pivot, and Chandler goes, "Shut up!" I mean, it's a very funny scene. YouTube search it if you want. Pivot. It was Friends pivot. That's all you need to see. So they're having trouble with their grandma's casket, and here wise guy Jake again goes underneath his breath though. This time he goes, pivot, and of course they start shaking the casket. So yes, baseball is fun. Life is fun. It can be tragic, both. You got to choose. So the Rays started in 1998 as the Devil Rays, and they were awful. They were the laughingstock of baseball. They played in the laughingstock ballpark, still do, Tropicana Field. It's awful, but we have baseball, and there's a dome, so you know you're going to get a game, unless the power gets knocked out, which the power station number 19 gets knocked out on the regular there in St. Petersburg. In any case, the Devil Rays, I was on my high horse to change the name to Rays right from the beginning. Eventually, the Rays get bought by a guy named Stu Sternberg. And in his first year, in 2007, they were in last place, lost 100 games. And in 2008, They changed their name. They dropped the devil completely and became, with a new logo, the Rays. And hired a guy in 2007 named Joe Madden. We'll talk more about Joe Madden on this Try Not to Suck t-shirt. And they go from worst to first and win the American League East, American League pennant. Then they lose to the Phillies in the World Series. But we were there. We were there cheering the guys on in the first game and cheering them on in the playoffs and the World Series. We made t-shirts. We sold t-shirts, that just unique t-shirts, just to make a greater memory. You guys do things on purpose. Make memories on purpose. Enjoy things with family. I took my kids, my friends to the World Series. It's been a big part of our lives. The Rays announcer is Dwayne Statz. He's been the only announcer on the Rays TV since its inception. And we've become good friends. He's on my podcast all the time. He's a great guy. People say, how did you get Dwayne Statz on the show? I asked him. It's a great life principle. You never know what's going to happen if you just ask people. It's a beautiful thing. Take a chance. What's the worst they can say? No, thank you. And then you move on. But the Rays persevered, and then they came up with a way to have a winning team in a small market with a very low budget. It's called the Rays Way, and all of baseball is starting to copy it now. Get around good mentors, get around good leaders, learn from them. And I will help you along the way if you want. Just go to klein.coach. You can email me at grow@coachklein.com or call me, 813-363-9545. We will get you on the path. Whatever you're struggling with, whatever just twists and turns, tragedies perhaps, that your life is having, we'll figure out a way to turn around so that you're having fun most of the time. We'll do it again. Stay logged on as we continue with a story of a t-shirt quilt.